Tonight, you will eat something warm. You won't think about it. You'll just do it. But the real answer to why you crave that warmth is far stranger than you expect. Your body is not built like the other apes. Your gut is short. Your teeth are small. Your jaw muscles are weak compared to a chimpanzee's. And yet your brain burns more energy than almost any organ on the planet. Something had to change to make that possible. Something had to hand your body a shortcut. That shortcut was fire. 2 million years ago, your ancestors were not sitting around campfires telling stories. They were foraging, chewing raw roots for hours, tearing at tough, stringy meat with jaws that ached by nightfall. Chimpanzees today spend nearly half of their waking hours chewing. Half. Imagine spending 6 hours a day just trying to get enough calories to survive. That was the baseline. That was normal. Then something shifted. Primatologist Richard Wrangham at Harvard spent decades studying this exact turning point. His research points to a moment in human evolution when the body itself begins to transform. Smaller teeth, smaller stomachs, shorter intestines, a skeleton built for less chewing and less digesting. But biology does not shrink an organ for no reason. It shrinks an organ when something else is doing the work instead. Cooking was doing the work. Here's what almost nobody tells you. Raw food is a trap. It looks like fuel, but your body can't actually access most of the energy locked inside it. A raw potato, a raw piece of meat, a raw handful of grain. Your gut has to fight for every calorie, and it loses a lot of that fight. Heat changes the equation entirely. It breaks down tough fibers before your teeth ever touch them. It denatures proteins, unwinding them so your digestive enzymes can reach further inside. Cooking is, in a very real sense, external digestion. Your ancestors weren't just making food taste better. They were outsourcing the hardest part of eating to the fire itself. And the payoff was enormous. Wrangham's research suggests that cooked food can deliver close to double the usable calories of the same food eaten raw. Double. Not from a new food source, not from hunting something bigger, just from changing how the food was prepared. That single shift may have freed up enough energy to fund the most expensive organ in your body, your brain. A study led by neuroscientist Suzana Herculano-Houzel recalculated something scientists had assumed for decades. She found that the human brain, gram for gram, is not actually as metabolically extreme as everyone believed, but it still demands a staggering, disproportionate share of your daily energy, roughly 20% of your resting energy use, for an organ that makes up only about 2% of your body weight. No primate eating a strictly raw diet has ever evolved a brain that large. Not one. The math doesn't work without cooking in the picture. So, picture it. Not fire as comfort. Fire as calculator. Fire as the tool that quietly rebalanced an entire species' energy budget, freeing calories away from a massive gut and toward a growing brain. But there's a twist here that goes deeper than biology. Cooking didn't just change your body, it changed your schedule. Raw foragers eat when they find food, wherever they find it, alone or scattered in small groups. Cooked food requires something else entirely. It requires a fire that needs tending. It requires someone to gather fuel, someone to prepare the food, someone to protect the flame from wind and rain and rival animals. It requires people to sit still, together, at the same time, in the same place. Anthropologists have argued that this forced pause may be one of the earliest sources of something you now take completely for granted: sitting down to eat with other people, waiting for a meal instead of grabbing food the moment you find it, sharing what you have instead of consuming it the second you catch it, the evening meal, the gathering point, the shared table. Some researchers trace its roots not to politeness or ritual, but to the simple physical demands of keeping a fire alive long enough to cook. Think about what that means. Before cooking, food was largely a solitary transaction between an animal and its next meal. After cooking, food became a coordination problem, and coordination problems solved again and again over hundreds of thousands of years build something powerful. They build trust. They build patience. They build the earliest scaffolding of social structure. There's a darker layer too, one that Wrangham has written about directly. Cooking created a division of labor that shaped early human relationships in ways that still echo today. Someone had to gather and prepare the food, while someone else could range farther to hunt or forage. That division wasn't always equal, and its imprint may run deeper into human social patterns than most people realize. The politics of the dinner table may be older than the dinner table itself. Here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. Your digestive system has never adjusted back. You are biologically a cooking-dependent animal now. Try to survive for months eating only raw food, no matter how carefully you plan it, and your body starts to struggle. Studies on modern raw food diets consistently show the same pattern. Lower body weight, disrupted menstrual cycles in women, chronic difficulty maintaining energy balance, even among people eating enormous quantities of raw fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Your gut is too short. Your enzymes are tuned for food that has already been half broken down by heat. You inherited a body built around a campfire that your ancestors lit almost 2 million years ago, and you have never once had the option to opt out. Which brings you back to tonight. When you turn on your stove, when you wait for water to boil, when you pull something warm out of an oven, you are not performing a modern convenience. You are completing a task your species began before language existed, before art existed, before anything you would recognize as culture existed. Every cooked meal is a small, unconscious echo of that first fire, the one that shrank a gut, grew a brain, and forced a scattered, solitary species to finally sit down together. You didn't choose to need cooked food. Evolution chose it for you, one campfire at a time, and every time you eat something warm tonight, you won't think about it. You'll just do it. But now you know the real answer is far stranger than you expected.